I think we have benefited historically from trade liberalization. If he's going to tear up NAFTA, that would be, I think, a problem for Canada. Obviously, he's the President of the United States. We have to take a collegial approach. And if he aggressively tries to make it more competitive for a business to locate in Ontario, or in the U.S., if he's trying to drain business investment from Ontario to Michigan or elsewhere, that's something we have to be mindful of and compete with as conditions shift. What we do differently, a few things immediately. We'd stop the fire sale. If I was Premier tomorrow, I'd stop the continued fire sale of Hydro One. I believe we're going to lose future control of rate increases with the fire sale. Two, I'd stop. I'd do my best to combat the surplus electricity, and this is a big one. You know, people are astonished by the size of their global adjustment. We're talking about $6 billion now since 2009. We've signed a lot of bad contracts for surplus electricity, and we have to look at ways to minimize that surplus. And as the economy grows, then that surplus will diminish. But right now we have a huge surplus that we're charging you for to give away. And so I don't want to do anything that would cause legal exposure to the taxpayer. The third thing I do differently from the Premier made a promise that there'd be no unwilling host municipalities. That's a promise that hasn't been honored, and I think it should be. And so I think those three specific areas are areas that we could offer some help. In terms of the social conservative stuff that related to, I just felt that it was important to state very clearly where I stood. I think sometimes leadership requires that, where there's too much divergence of opinion and people are going down the wrong direction. You have to set very firmly what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. And I made my position on that in September in a very public way, very clear. So I'm not going to put up guardrails unnecessarily, but as a moderate, pragmatic, progressive conservative, I would just say, I don't want us to be overly dogmatic or overly ideological. I want us to be pragmatic and reasonable and allow that to infuse our policy process.